Hello, I'm Bill Bullard with R-CALF USA, the voice of the independent cattle producer in the United States of America. Well, in all of the United States, there are only 27,000 independently owned farmer feedlots left. And that's all that's left after having 110,000 independently owned farmer feedlots just 25 years ago. So picture this. You're one of the last farmer feeders still standing, and you go to your bank and borrow operating money to buy good calves to fill your feedlot. But before you buy those calves, you calculate your break-even costs. Now, throughout all of last year, you paid about $1,026 for 750-pound feeder cattle, and you filled your 900 head capacity feedlot twice, so your total cost for feeder cattle was $108 million. Now, your break-even for all of last year for your 1,300-pound finished steers was $114 per hundredweight, but the market price for your finished cattle was only $108 per hundredweight. So you lost about $6 per hundredweight, or nearly $80 per head all year long. That's a total loss for the year of about $144,000 for your cattle feeding business. So this year you're sitting in the sale barn to buy your feeder cattle, and the price of those feeder calves is $10 to $20 higher per hundredweight than they were last year. Now that breaks the pencil, and both you and your banker agree you cannot buy those calves, and weeds soon grow in your feedlot. But on the surface, this looks like great news for cow-calf producers and backgrounders. After all, they're getting considerably more for their calves. But cow-calf producers and backgrounders are actually being paid to look the other way while the multinational meat packers swiftly dismantle your competitive U.S. cattle feeding sector. We know that independent cattle feeders are not just bidding against other independent cattle feeders for the feeder cattle they need. No, they're being outbid by the multinational beef packers that do not need to earn a margin on those calves like the independent cattle feeder does, because they're making the largest margins in history once those cattle are finished. And they're doing this through secret contracts, disguised as alternative marketing arrangements. And here's the evidence. The Easterday cattle feeding empire in the state of Washington has been bidding against unsuspecting independent cattle feeders for years. Their winning bids were thought to be the result of their just being big. Easterday has largeness of scale, as they are one of the largest cattle feeding companies in the nation. Because largeness of scale reduces costs, it was simply thought that they could pay more for calves because their large feedlot costs were lower than small feedlot costs. But no one knew the real secret of just how big Easterday was until now. Multinational beef packer Tyson sued Easterday, and in the process publicly disclosed the until now secret of who was actually paying the winning bids for feeder cattle. Turns out it was Tyson, outbidding the independent cattle feeder. Yes, Easterday bought the cattle, but according to the agreement, Tyson reimbursed Easterday not just for the cost of the cattle, but also for all the feed that Easterday fed those cattle before delivering them to Tyson. So in order to keep their feeding businesses going, smaller independently owned U.S. cattle feeders are bidding against the pocketbooks of the world's largest multinational corporations, and they're losing. This is an impending train wreck of colossal proportion, and it's about to derail and crash down upon your entire U.S. cattle industry. We've already lost 75% of our independent cattle feeders. Lose more and there won't be any buyers sitting in your sale barns. Instead, all you cow-calf producers and backgrounders, you'll all have to wait by the phone and hope a packer will call you and take your calves off your hands. You think you'll get a competitive price for your cattle then? This is the chickenization process applied to your cattle industry, and it's happening right before your eyes. Force all the independent feeders out and it's game over. There will be no competition in the live cattle supply chain. But you have the power to stop this. But you have to act right now, and you need to do two things. First, call and keep calling your senators and representatives and ask them, 1, when are they going to pass Senate Bill 949, the Grassley-Tester Market Protection Bill? 2, when are they going to pass mandatory country of origin labeling for beef? 3, when are they going to make all cattle transactions completely, fully, and totally transparent? Second thing you need to do is you need to join up and support the organization fighting for you as it has far more influence than you have as an individual. So please go to our website at www.r-calfusa.com to get more information and to become a supporting member so together we can stop the chickenization of your U.S. cattle industry. With that, have a productive week. Thank you and goodbye.